Welcome. My name is Dr. Eric Landrum from the Department of Psychology at Boise State University. You're watching a briefing video on APA format for Microsoft Word line spacing. I'd like to take you through the steps on how to set your text in an APA formatted paper to actually appear properly on the page for line spacing. I'm going to click over to a sample file. You might recognize this if you've watched other Jing videos. My margins are all set at 1-inch margins as they should be, but now I want to set the line spacing. You can see this is odd, quite honestly. This would be the default in Microsoft Word 2007 in the default template. And so we need to change the appearance of this, the line spacing on the paper. Now in Microsoft Word, especially in APA format, we need to have true double spacing throughout and no extra spaces between paragraphs. This is an odd little custom spacing. It's 1.15. We need to set that to 2. And also we need to make sure there's no extra space, as you can see here, between paragraphs. All right, so I'm going to start with the Home tab right up here. I'm going to go over to the paragraph and click on line spacing, and you'll see that pop up here. So here's the line spacing tab. Oh, before I do that, there's a couple different ways to do this. I could select everything in the file like this and then go to and click on that, or I could do a Control A from my keyboard and select everything. A third option would be in a blank file, just hit do all of this first, and then everything you type will be in APA format. But since I've already got text here, I'm going to go ahead and use my Control A that I've activated, and then go ahead and click on line spacing, and then you can see a couple different things. And so first off, you see that odd 1.15. We need true double spacing at 2.0. That would be double spacing, so I'm going to click on that. And now the text is double spaced, but there's actually still an error embedded, and perhaps you can see it. There's an extra space in between the paragraphs, and you don't want that. So again, I'm going to highlight everything with Control A. I'm going to come back up here to line spacing, and I've got a couple options down here. I could remove space after paragraph. If I just click on that, now watch the blue highlighted behind me, or behind the cursor, and watch what happens. Now I've got true double spacing throughout the entire document. If you didn't want to use those commands, you could go to this line spacing options. And by the way, if you're using Microsoft Word 2003, this is what it's going to look like when you do this. And so we want true double spacing, which is right here at double. So I click here on double, and if I had had that extra spacing in between, I could take it out and come to 0 points. That means no extra spacing before a paragraph and no extra spacing after a paragraph. And you could undo what we did previously on this menu by just clicking on add space, except that one was removed because it had extra space embedded. Anyway, that'll do it for me, and that's how you set proper line spacing in APA format using Microsoft Word.